She DTF.
She tell me she
DTF. I heard she DTF. What? And you ain't hanging with the team if you ain't down to fuck. Okay.
Hey,
well,
hey,
Lou, I'm on my
hey,
bag. Got
hey,
that code
hey,
and a Sprite
hey.
in my hand.
Welcome to DTF!
Yay!
Yeah! All right. Welcome to the greatest sex education comedy game show in the known universe! So we are your, I don't know where we all oriented in this screen, but I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Dr. Timaree. I'm a sex educator, and I stopped paying my student loans.
I'm Darryl. I'm a comedian, and I mean, man, fuck everything, right? You know what I mean? Like that's yeah, and not in a good way.
So yeah.
Yeah, and we have another episode of DTF at home, and we have our two lovely guests. Our first guest is a comedian and auteur. Is that the right word?
Sure.
They have a lot of sketches on the internet and stuff that you should go see. It's Alejandro Morales.
Hey. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
And also returning to the show, we have multi-talented, probably best known for the Black Tribbles, for your nerd cuteness realness. Give it up for Kennedy.
Hey, that's me. That's me. Hey guys, how are you? I'm
Good.
here
How are you?
and mentally stable and spending too much money, but I've made it. We're here. I've survived the before times. I am here in the quarantines, and I'm here for this. Let's go. DTF.
Impermanence, baby.
So we brought back two of our faves from overtime because we are, if you aren't already aware, celebrating 7 years of DTF this month.
Wow, that's
an incredible long time.
rad.
That's
Yes.
bananagrams.
Mhm. Mhm. And we couldn't do it without you. And thank you. And it's actually kind of funny that the guests today are guests who typically have other things happening and have been asked multiple times and keep having to say no.
Yeah.
Thankfully, no one has anything to do. Yay!
Yeah, what would you normally be doing on a second Friday of the month back in the before times?
I mean, I would definitely either have a weekend booking to tell jokes, or I would be at home bitter, and pretending not to be bitter that I wasn't booked to tell jokes.
Touche.
Fair. I mean, same. I would be in the same pocket if that was what I was doing. So the before times I was working a different job, so I would most likely be working Friday nights, which is always.
Yeah.
Always. So now I don't work Friday nights, but nobody's doing anything. And I am a little salty that finally for the first time in probably 5 whole fucking years, I have a Friday off and no one cares. It's really.
So we're going to make up for that with this. We're going to have a good old time. We're going to talk about
Yay!
So
Have all the fun talking about things that make you mad and sad and feels weird.
Oh yeah, we picked some doozies this week.
Yeah, the conversation will be interesting, I believe.
We were on a vibe, I think.
Yeah, last week was like super silly, and then we were like, that was fun. Back to the bullshit.
I think this is full Black Mirror.
Last week was the pro dom who is in Animal Crossing. This week we have some other stories.
Something completely different. But yeah,
now I give a shit about Animal Crossing. Before it was like, it's the $3 Sims. Ow, what? Let's go.
It's super popular.
I've seen more things. So everyone who watches the show will know that I am an adherent of the Am I the Asshole on Reddit. That is very much my place that I go. And I have learned more about Animal Crossing from that never played the game. But people complain about my 11-year-old nephew came onto my island and he cracked all my rocks open and stole all my clay. And I'm like, I don't understand any of this, but that kid needs to die.
That's funny.
That's weird.
Ooh, here we go. Here
All right,
we go.
cool. Hey, it's
Now we're
DTF at
unfortunate.
your house. Yay. I worked for 5 minutes on this slide, so I show it every week.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Everybody
And
show off
then,
your pets and grandparents.
Right? Wait, do the thing. All right, cool. So yeah, let's do the fucking news.
Fucking news.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is fun. This dashing gentleman was originally convicted of going out into stores and places where human women were and like taking photos of close-ups on various body parts, most of which are sexual, along with actually squeezing somebody, assaulting somebody in public.
Yeah, you squeeze your butt.
The assault charge still stands, but the photography of people's body parts without their permission was dropped because basically the appeals court said they were in public, so ...
Yeah. So yeah, perviness is all right. I mean, he was just being pervy. It's one of those, I am no libertarian, but I kind of have to be on the side of the judges. I'm like, he's a jerk, obviously, but you can take pictures in public places. The focusing on butts, like, I mean, if you want to make a law about it, go through the process, but like, I could take a picture of anything outside. Upskirting is actually illegal in a lot of places because they wrote laws to say you can't take pictures of like underwear and things that aren't actually out. But like, if you just took a picture of somebody's butt that was out in the street, he's a jerk.
That was my takeaway too, is that they got to introduce laws that make a distinction between things that you can photograph in public because it's the same things that a security camera would be able to record, or the kind of things that just a person would be able to see, as opposed to like taking pictures with a what's prurient, is that the word, with like a focus on people's private parts, right? So there's no legal distinction on that in many states yet.
For adults.
Yeah, that's a big point of clarification.
Yeah, that's a big point of clarification. You can't do that with minors, but with adults, it's kind of whatever. And I hate to be like, I'm not on this guy's side, but like, like responsibility or whatnot. Like the store should kick him out. Like, like the person should be able to sue him civilly, but like to say that it is like go to jail because someone's butt was in your picture. I mean,
it is tough because apparently they don't even have access to the photographs themselves. All that the prosecutors had was the admission on this guy's part that he had taken the pictures, so they couldn't even establish, what angle he had used or what have you. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that he reached out and touched somebody, this guy would be sort of scot-free. So he pushed his luck and he fucked up. It's just so much that this guy could have gotten away with, and he still pushed the envelope so much that he still will inevitably face consequences.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, this was an interesting one because like he admitted to it, and it's like he claims to understand that it was wrong and not having wanted to hurt people, which I think it's a really interesting thing about this level of sex crime. The ones that are really like where it's not, in this case he did touch someone, but the cases of exhibitionists, like people who are going around intentionally trying to like flash someone who wasn't looking for that, those kind of crimes, they tend to, when charged with anything, crumple because they're not necessarily like sadistic aggro kind of predators. They are just turned on by like the shittiness of it, and they are aware that that's shitty. Like they are aware of it and probably hate themselves. And I love that. I love that they hate themselves, but I wish that they could just not, like, could you be socialized? Like a lot of them are going to look like this guy. Cause like, could you just be socialized to just not put all of your stuff out on everybody else, right?
think about other people before you pull this nonsense. Would be a great, lesson to learn in school or something.
And he did also use the death of somebody in his family to justify what he did. He said, somebody died in my family.
His dad died of cancer. And then I started taking pictures of butts.
Is that one of the stages of grief?
Yeah.
Right.
One of the things that actually did strike out to me, that it was like after the death of his dad, which is, always a tragedy. But after that, that's when he started taking pictures of people. And then later he moved on to touching someone. And thankfully he got in trouble, because what all of the serial killer shows I watch say is that's called escalation. And if that's never checked, he's going to end up raping and killing someone. Because, I don't even want to say stereotypically. Statistically speaking, these people, if they are never checked, continue the behavior and continue to move on to do terrible things. Because, liking to take a picture of someone knowing that they probably wouldn't want you to, because they wouldn't want you to, is psychopathy. And there's typically an endpoint for it, and it's called murder.
Kennedy, you haven't said much in a while. How do you feel about this guy?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. If I knew him, I'd beat his ass. Because that's how I feel about it. I hear what you're saying about, being respectful of the legislature, right? Legislature.
Mm-hmm.
How does one legally restrict one from behaving in such an abhorrent manner, right? Obviously, that's a concern. Is there a means to govern that? Is there a means to correct that behavior that, can get the courts involved, and maybe several other avenues? Maybe it's a mental health thing, and maybe some things that condition someone to be following these types of patterns can seek help, like a certain type of help. I mean, there's fucking documentaries on these people. Like, maybe there needs to be an area of focus where someone can go and get all the attention they need and all of that bullshit. But at the end of the day, this motherfucker deserves to get his fucking ass kicked, like point blank, period. Like, I don't give a shit how tragic it is that your dad died. Like, okay, I'm sorry for your loss, but try to fucking take a picture of my ass again. And you need to be happy you don't catch this size 10, bro. Like, don't fucking play with me. He's lucky that all he did was get charges and not an ass whooping. Like, because any woman that I know is beating his ass. Like, they're beating the dog shit out of him, especially now because it's quarantine. Ain't nobody got nowhere to go. Where am I going to get fired from for beating your ass? Who's going to arrest me? These cops ain't trying to put their fucking hands on me. I don't have my mask on because I just literally dragged your ass over here. So come on, come on, please give me a reason. Give me a motherfucking reason. Like, I hear what you're saying about like civil rights, but fuck that dude.
This very much calls for like that kind of justice.
Punch him in the face.
In the moment justice.
Yeah, definitely that. But like legally, like I don't know why. Like, a lot of legislative bodies and jurisdictions will go out of their way to associate obscenity laws with people just enjoying themselves in the street and not hurting anyone. This is a case of this person being obscene and actively hurting a person. Why did obscenity clauses not apply to this kind of behavior? I think that
why?
Really
because this is a behavior, the overall problem, right? This is behavior that is 9 times out of 10, again, because there are exceptions to everything, indicative of fucking fuck dude shit. Like, this is man shit. You don't hear of women going around taking obscene pictures of men's dicks because we've been taught the consequences of that. Consequences that are not reflective on the other side of the binary, if you want to keep it in those parameters.
They just started coming out with the good sweatpants. You got to
like,
give it a
literally,
years.
like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to, like, move your shit and take a picture. If you're wearing gray sweats, I can see it. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So there's a bit of a
let the
learning
technology
curve.
Catch up.
Right. There's a bit of a learning curve.
Let me walk around the grocery store with my phone pointing at guys' sweatpants. I think that ass whooping justice would be very quick for somebody like me, right?
Like you, right? But if a woman were to do that, they'd be like, "Oh, wow, this is a bit extreme, but can you make sure you get my good side?" So the consequences are not
I'm
universal in
available
the
for
way
parties,
that they ought
man.
to be.
You don't have to
You know what I'm
see.
saying? Like, hey, whoa, I'm gonna have to send you an invoice if you don't cool out. But go ahead, go cool out. Right.
The lights are right here. Come on.
Right.
So I have like a sort of like ambivalence, contrarian like response to this, which is for some reason I'm going to be like libertarian version of myself today, which is like, how could you possibly legislate what is basically intent, right? Because our problem with this is not taking pictures of people in public, because like we all have done that. We've all just taken pictures in public where like someone who isn't our friend is in the background or whatever,
right?
Or we take pictures of somebody that's on the street doing something and they're not a busker, you know, like literally anything.
They're not asking for your attention. Yeah.
Or celebrities, just like, you know, if you see a celebrity, you're gonna do it, whatever. Like, I don't know how we would possibly actually come down on the side of you can't take pictures in public. But what our problem is that this guy's a fucking creeper and that this guy's intention is bad. And I don't know how we're gonna legislate that. So I think aside from the fact that like the carceral response to everything is not helpful, I mean, the thing that I just keep coming back to is we need to have some sort of restorative justice thing that also involves like this dude getting his ass beat, like when it happens. And then like, don't involve the police at all.
Right. There needs to be a clause in somebody's legislature that someone can legally say, no. Let's wait a minute. Let's wait till all the facts come in. Let's just wait. No. Let her beat his ass for a second. She was on to something. There needs to be like a let it happen clause.
Did he pinch or did he grab? Did he pinch or grab? A pinch? Give him a 2-piece. Hook him up real fast.
Hold on, let me pull out my list here. Wait a minute.
Feet.
Hold on, there's a chart for this. All right, so a grab means, you can use a blunt object, no blades, but you can definitely use a pipe or something. Like, you gotta, yeah, girl, go ahead and get your old club. Go ahead, use that. Go ahead. No, look, it's legal. Officer,
below the shoulder,
right here.
Below the shoulder.
Right, anything above the shoulder, that's more than manslaughter, and we can't have that. You want to keep it in here and in here. Otherwise, you want to keep it to the limbs. Yeah, I mean, and really, that's what you need to be doing anyway. You want to break his fingers, so next time he think about taking pictures, he'll think about it. That's what you need to do. Break his motherfucking hands. That's what you need to fucking do. That's the clause. Hold on. Time out. That's a knuckle breaker, gentlemen.
Right.
It's inspirational.
Yeah, I think that we do have certain laws that have to do with intent. Like we have the hate crime statute, we have the obscenity thing, right? Like we do have laws that say like you did this thing that isn't right, but here are extra stipulations because of, you know, other things that society would like to curtail as far as behavior is concerned. So when it comes to pervy shit like this, I don't see a reason why you don't do something like that. I mean, you know, again, it's about laws catching up to technology.
And also,
it was a lot harder.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, say it was a lot harder when it took 10 minutes to take a photo, you know, to take a picture of somebody. But now it's real easy.
Right, you have to pull.
Hold on a second.
It's also
shit, you moved.
He'd be like, hold on. It also is that, you know, I can't help but be conspiratist about it and wonder if there's an intentional delay of legislature catching up with technology, because then it will prohibit some of the people in positions of power from doing some of the shitty things as well. So if the judge who loves taking pictures of asses and shit and just doing inappropriate things in public gets a case across his desk that he himself is guilty of, he's going to be a little bit more lenient on enforcing that rule, because then it will set a precedent, right? And if he starts setting a precedent that he cannot adhere to, then there's consequences that he'll have to deal with later on. And of course, we know that people in positions of power don't give a fuck about consequences. So
exactly. How do you address something like this when the people in power are by and large the kind of people who would love to get away with stuff like this too?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're in a hurry to stop this kind of stuff, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, you know, who hasn't looked at an upskirt video on the internet out of curiosity? Just curiosity, you know what I mean? Yeah. Ha! Ha! I say. That's 2 out of 4. Yeah.
I was a douchebag, man. Like when I was coming up, I I gotta say, when I look back on some of the stuff that I looked at as a kid, like not understanding, like one of the examples of the types of porn that I found interesting that I now really judge myself for was they're like celebrity nudes that were like not intentional, like they didn't like pose for. It was like, you know, taken over a wall while they're like sunbathing or whatever, like that kind of stuff where
That Janet Jackson sunbathing one.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know, I was into that, and it's a violation of privacy. But like, I at some point was young and didn't get it, and I was like, oh, that celebrity is attractive to me.
Right, sure.
I hope you said it just like that. That celebrity is attractive to me.
Well, and that's
typically the way your brain fires up.
There's like a kind of a scary domino effect to when stuff like this goes unchecked, because like for example, when the picture of Calvin Harris's penis leaked on Twitter, I looked for it.
You should have put your hand down there.
But I wouldn't have looked for it if it wasn't there. You know.
I think you can enjoy what's already been put out, or not even enjoy it, because it's not like I was looking at like an upskirt video and be like, oh yeah, she does have panties on. It was one of those like, hey, this is weird, yo. Like, really? On the escalator, though? Like, there can't be a lot of these. Hold on a second. Wait, there's a lot of these. Nah.
I definitely, when I'm going up,
and then, you know,
when I'm going up steps or an escalator, I definitely discreetly, because I don't want to piss anybody off that I'm protecting my modesty, will at my thigh, like at my arm length, I'll like clench the fabric close so that you can't see underneath it. Because I done learned, and you know, 10 years of Catholic school, you learn how to cover your butt.
This is foreign to me because for two reasons. One, I don't tend to wear clothes, and when I do, they're onesies. All I wear is onesies. Everything I own
in the summertime
is one piece.
The onus isn't on the victim. It shouldn't be on the victim of said crime. But yeah, I think, you know, if I knew a judge, I'd be like, yo, this guy, or some kind of legislator, these words. I don't know what it could be. It's loosening my tongue.
That's an opportunity for a callback, but he wasn't there for it, so I guess I'll leave it alone.
But yeah, you know, if I knew one, I'd be like, or I guess you could just organize or something, and like try to do something about these kinds of cases, because this isn't the first time I've seen this. You know what I mean? This is the first time I've seen it be struck down in a later court, where it's just like,
what a roller coaster for the people that were victimized. You know, first they have the violation of their privacy sort of affirmed, and then they have somebody sort of go back and say, well, no, it was actually okay. I mean, and you as a person,
you don't want to water skirt the target,
and then have that turn back on you, like that's got to be such a shitty feeling. I hate it.
Yeah.
I also hate how good this guy is. I fucking, it's very frustrating for me that you cannot trust what a person's face is. You cannot trust a gorgeous, handsome face.
Is this a gorgeous, handsome face?
Don't be dazzled by the cheekbones. I saw them too. The bone structure is exquisite, but the hairline, you must peep the hairline. That is a creeper hairline.
These are all facts.
Yeah,
his bone structure is in fact exquisite, and his face is symmetrical, so I get the appeal. But that hairline, that's a ding, ding, dinger. Watch his fingers.
This is like one of those mugshots that I have a gay friend who has no moral compass whatsoever, and he would send me screenshots of mugshots of men who had committed hate crimes against gay people who had beat up gay guys, and he'd send me the screenshots of the mugshot and be like, I'd suck him off. And I'd be like,
oh, so that's different. I thought you were going that he's like, oh, look at this dude, I'd love to fuck his world up, but that's different. Whatever.
Like,
hey, I'm not going to judge.
Like mugshot bangs.
I mean, that would probably fuck his world up.
Yeah. But I mean, do we not remember, what is his name? Jeremy Meeks. he now models for Fashion Nova. He became famous from his mugshot.
Oh yeah, that's prison bit.
A well-placed mugshot.
You cannot trust your eyes.
No, I mean, yeah, the eyes are the window to a lot of latent bigotry.
This sounds like a really good segue to the next story.
That is true.
How about the
That's
segue
right.
to the next story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our next story, these images you're looking at don't exist. These are images from
The people in them.
well, these nudes do not exist.com is coming with AI generated nudes, and they are using pictures that are of real people theoretically, which is a whole other complicated thing because finding pictures of people willing to pose naked is usually meaning pirated content from sex workers. But you can get pictures of your favorite thin white lady generated to make her look topless. So, yeah.
Well, it's not just your favorite. Purely for the educational purposes of being able to provide this information to our adoring public.
Certainly.
I have gone on the website and I have looked into it. You just keep hitting refresh and it just keeps doing a new amalgamation of hairstyle and eyes and if they smile with their teeth or not. I think the titties are always the same, but anyway, it is really, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, these are just random women. These are
strange. I've seen these
like,
tits before.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they're a little different. Actually, if you look at the ones on here,
Dancing by my door.
There's a little more of a hang. But anyway, I'm like, these are just, if you ever go to a porn site and just hit check, CHECH, these are these women. These are just women from the Czech Republic. Like, don't dupe me. But anyway, you just keep hitting refresh. You can't pick the woman, the generated woman. You can't pick it. It's just you hit refresh and it says like, oh, we'll keep giving you them. So I was trying to see if there were like sliders you could pick. You know, it was like, oh,
you're making an avatar.
Yeah, like, can I say like, oh, I want one like this, or skew it this way, But no, apparently it's just
computer augment.
Yeah.
And then it goes what?
Yeah.
Zoom in. Too far.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, it's. I mean, this is. The implications of this are weird, right? Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did read an article about an animated being on OnlyFans, I think, that was like, it's like this animated like hentai lady who is naked and whatnot on OnlyFans, but it's like a computer generated person, but it does have like a real person on the back end, one making the money and two like doing voices and shit. But like the other models on the site are like, this isn't fair. Like, I am actually putting myself in danger by doing this, and this person isn't, right? Like it's not the same rules. And so there's some complaints there, but like with this, as we get better with technology and you're able to, we do the deep fake thing and all kinds of stuff. It's like, is it a better, I guess no, it's not. I'm like, is it better that people would be able to get this kind of content without actual people having to be in it? But no, that's not better. It's different, but it's not. Yeah, it's not better because I guess if you're gonna get it for free, right?
My thought was on this, like, my emotional thought at first was like, ew, and then I thought about it a little bit longer, and I was like, the technology is not even really the thing to me, because it's how you use this stuff, and I'd be much more concerned with like a deep fake that has political implications or something like that, where given that we can't trust any of the propaganda that comes out anyway. But like, this is an example. This is just like the last story to me, because it has everything to do with like motive and like, have you seen art? Like, art in general is just a series of people making what they think is like a sexy person. And then that's all of history. And like,
right.
Like there's so much like illustration and cartooning and like other forms of making art of that are inspired by someone you might know in real life, but it's a fake version of it. Again, because I can't go 5 minutes without bringing up Am I the Asshole? On Reddit, there was a girl who found out that a guy she knew had commissioned a drawing that was like her face in a very, very sexual situation. And when she found out about it, she's like, what do I do? Because it's like up online and it's her face. So it's like not even the AI that I'm worried about. It's just like, to go back to pervy shit. It's just back to people not respecting boundaries.
Right.
What troubles me about this is that like technology, you know, has all this potential to democratize and to sort of equalize the playing field and make things better for everybody. But it keeps getting sort of hijacked, where I feel like instead of finding a way to make sex workers feel safer, right? And because there are people who are willing to offer this kind of content. There are people who are willing to exchange their nudes for money. There's not a lack of people who are going to do that. They're not being protected. And instead of doing everything that we can or using technology to enrich that pursuit for people who legitimately want to sell their nudes, we're circumventing sex workers altogether and then creating this database of images. I mean, I think one of the database is already very dubious, because where does it come from? Where do these images come from? How is there public domain nudes, right?
It's
it's
stolen sex worker pics.
Yeah, so that's what's troubling. I mean, I think on its face, yeah, it's almost like, oh, well, they're fake and they're not real, so who cares? But then, like, I want people to get paid.
Right. Yeah.
You know, when they can't.
It's like they would sell this picture for more than $1.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's worth more than $1.
I agree. It's fucking end capitalism. It all boils down to not being willing to pay women their money. Like, run them fucking pockets. You can sit there and jerk off to the shit and pick and choose to what precisely your kink is and find it somewhere. Like, how hard is it to pay somebody? If you put that much detail into what type of beer you drink, what type of whiskey you prefer, how you want your steak, if you're a pescatarian, if you don't eat meat at all and you're vegan and you need 35,000 different types of beans in your salad to make it work for you, Chad, you can fucking pay somebody to produce this content. And it just really boils down to, like, everything wrong with society right now is what is socially important? Is it important that people are compensated appropriately for the services that they render? Or is it important that some people make more money while other people suffer? And where do the two shall meet? I think it's really fucking creepy that this is a thing. Pardon me. I was trying to make that happen without it being so obvious, but there you go. Originally reading it without having looked at the website for research purposes, such as our good
for
friend
research
down
purposes
here.
only. I just was
Sure.
You know.
For the science. For the science.
I do it for the
thought
culture.
that it was like just of course. I thought it was going to be like a computer animated kind of deal. I was anticipating like a CGI and was thinking, okay, isn't that just hentai? You know, like I was like, okay, how is that any different? I mean, on the one hand, initially I thought, well, okay, that's kind of cool, because if it's like a mocap kind of thing where all you need is the suit and a system to interpret the suit's data into a character, like I thought maybe they had built that kind of platform somewhere, then that opens it up, because more people can can be sex workers even if they don't fit the quote unquote archetype, like the physical requirements, which means you get to run the ultimate hustle on dudes that, or people I should say, that only like a certain type, or like super like snobs about their porn and misogynistic about their women, like, haha, you only like, you know, this type of person. Meanwhile, I'm the exact opposite, still getting you hard, run them pockets. So I thought it was kind of cool, but now to find out that it's literally just a database of women who may or may not have been compensated for this. It's like, fuck, just pay us. How hard is it? You pay each other. You pay each other for everything else. Why the fuck can't you pay us? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't want to well actually you, but it's not just a database of women, it's a database of their parts. It's worse. It's a database of the individual parts that the algorithm just randomly picks. You know when you at a bar, remember bars? And,
Oh yeah.
From the before time.
Right? And you would play that game with the two pictures and you had to pick out the differences. And they would just add a strap to a bra when you pick the adult one.
Yes.
That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. They just jumble in some stuff and they're like, boom, okay, put the eyebrows here, put the hair here, boom, we're done. That's a brand new person. And sadly they're doing it off of actual people who are not being paid.
Why are straight men so easy to impress, Darryl?
Excellent question.
It's a great question.
I actually, while you're thinking about that, like while you ponder that, I guess the question I have, being not a straight guy and not necessarily the market for this, is are people buying it and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna jerk off to this? Or is it just the novelty? And this is the same as when you go to that website where it's like, it just creates a fake person from features that they've found on the internet in general. And not necessarily that anybody's jerking off to it, but it's just, they're like, oh wow, science. And then you go on to the next thing. Like, I always wonder, like, is this anybody's, like, this is it. They're not going to buy porn because
this is sustainable.
Right. Like, this is the thing. I mean, I think the way that this works is that someone develops a technology and they're able to do it, and they're able to do it in like a photorealistic way, and they're like, oh, cool. And it's typically done as some kind of garage project, or it's a part of some like educational thing, and they do it, and then someone says, well, why don't you make people pay you for it? And they go, well, why the fuck would I do that? And they're like, because if you just put it out there for $1 and 1 million people find it, you'll have $1 million. My cat agrees. And you just, and it just works that way. Hi, buddy. Yeah. And I think that's the problem with capitalism, right? It's just saying, well, just make money. The most important thing is that you just make money. But yeah, for only you can buy them individually for $1, but for $1 a month, they'll send you a new one each week.
Wow,
So
that's
you
a
get
deal.
them for a quarter. Isn't that right?
What costs a quarter?
For 4 quarters
Nothing.
a month, you too can sponsor your very own virtual doll. Poor Sandy here will never be able to show her nudes unless you help her today. Her and 1 million children, people just like her are suffering.
Nudes, buddy.
Everybody,
Oh,
look at that cat.
Oh.
Guest star.
The cat was like, nope.
If everybody has a doppelganger, then like isn't it likely as not that one of these AI generated women is gonna look a lot like somebody who actually exists?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm sure the people behind it are able to tweak the things so that they can prescribedly make a woman that looks like a particular person. I mean, there was that other website that was like, if you give us a picture, we'll find the porn doppelganger for him.
I don't like that. That's all of this at the end of the day is the United States government building a database so that they can have facial recognition software. It's a further invasion of our privacy, a further violation of my rights. And I won't have it. We will not have it.
So Kennedy will not be subscribing to these news.
No.
I won't be subscribing either.
Chicks enough.
I'm not subscribing. It's not because they don't pay him enough. It's just that the pool is too shallow.
Not quite your cup of tea, Sarah.
Just leaving it there. I mean, sometimes. But if I'm gonna pay $1, I want it all the time. You know what I mean? All right.
Fair.
It's just
if they come out with a technology where they can deep fake my face onto deep faked like that I would buy. That's for me.
Deep fake your face onto who?
Huh?
I think we missed some audio.
Yeah, we missed it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. My internet connection became unstable in that moment because I was.
The government was like, "Ooh."
They could take my face onto somebody having sex with somebody who's out of my league. That would be useful to me.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I've never heard that way used, but that's also good. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I want to put myself in there, you know?
Right. Don't deepfake like a celebrity onto a body. No, deepfake me into the porn. That's what I want.
There was also, I'm trying to think of the director of it, but Nymphomaniac, the movie, basically did that with some scenes. So there's actual like graphic, like sexual contact happening in the movie, but in some of the cases, the actors' faces, I think like Shia LaBeouf might have been an example. They put his face onto the body of a porn performer during the sex scenes in those films. There's like 2 films, the Nymphomaniac movies, where they use that technology.
Ooh, it's a fuck double.
Oh, Lars von Trier. Of course it's Lars von Trier. That guy is a sadist.
Yeah, big time. He ruined Bjork's life.
He really did.
I hate that guy.
So mean. He was so mean to Nicole Kidman. Okay.
Damn it, you don't be mean to Nicole Kidman and Bjork. They haven't done anything to anybody, except for just Bjork just puts out weird, brilliant art pieces constantly. She's just like a strange little timeless angel.
So just let her be. Don't make her hard.
She exists outside of the century. All right. On that note, are we ready to go to our next piece?
Yes.
We're gonna go to our game.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. So again, because we are celebrating 5 years of DTF and we have 2 favorite returning guests, I am bringing back a game as well. This game originally came out, I made it in April of 2017. The album drops. And it is game time. So I'm so excited for this game because it's incredibly stupid. And this is a game that relates to RuPaul's Drag Race. And in April 2017, there was a Dragulator that was created where you could take anyone's face, speaking of her story, and make them into a brilliant drag queen. So what I did is create a game of Name That Homophobe, where I took a bunch of famous homophobes and turned them into beautiful drag queens. You have to guess who it is. So first you can try to guess it based on looks alone, which is worth 4 points. And then I'm going to give you 3 pieces of data. And the more pieces of data you have before you guess, the fewer points you get. So you can get up to 4 points per person. Does that make sense as a premise?
Yes.
Okay. For instance, on this first one, does anybody happen to know who this person is right off the bat? No. Alejandro.
Michelle Bachmann.
Correct! You got it right out the gate. I didn't even have to tell you. Yes, so
her
Michelle
husband
Bachmann.
Was there like a thing with her husband that he was like a ex-gay?
Yeah.
There's some suspicion that he might be gay. But yeah, she proposed same-sex marriage ban in Minnesota and has pushed for gay conversion therapy and might have herself a gay husband a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. I get it. I mean, you gotta vote your beliefs. It's like, I don't think anybody should be gay. Gary! Like, that was that sort of thing.
Oh my gosh.
But I do love this tangerine number.
Yeah, I'm really into the outfit here. This is a
Lots
good
of
time.
ruffles.
Yeah,
Superman.
so also as a reminder, people who are listening to this episode and not seeing it won't get the full effect unless you describe it. So as we go through, if you on your turn would be willing to describe it, that would be lovely. So Alejandro, we'll just call that when you're first.
They can go watch us on YouTube.
Also this, yes. Alejandro, I'm going to give you all 4 points for that. That's amazing. Who would like to go next?
That's funny.
I'll go next. I'll jump on that grenade.
All right. So right off the bat, can you describe this beauty?
Oh Jesus, this is like a Uber Susan. This is a delightful little periwinkle lavender getup that may or may not be tie-dyed towards the hemline. It's a little strange. There's matching purple pumps, a bag that doesn't match, surprise, surprise, but she does have a Karen haircut. She has the I have mixed kids haircut. That is also purple. And some gold chandelier earrings that don't match any of the silver in her motif. So, bitch, what is you doing? And I don't know who that is.
All right, so here's your first clue is that she was a beauty queen. Your second clue is that she was a singer as well. This is decades ago, also for context, that she was famous.
Oh, geez. I managed to lose my screen, so I can't see it anymore.
Oh no!
My system tried to initiate an update, and I was like, "Stop! I'm doing something right now, please."
So I'll just give you a few more details about her, just in case you happen to know. So she was she campaigned to repeal anti-discrimination laws in Miami in 1977, and she got pied in the face.
I have no idea who this person is. She sounds like a cunt, though. Pardon my French.
Yes. Any guesses? Anybody else happen to know?
Facts. I don't know.
Alejandro.
It's Anita Bryant.
Correct!
Wow.
You get a point for the steal. All right, we're going to Darryl.
The matter of factness. This is great.
Darryl, you're up.
This person is in a leotard with a deep V. Looks like they have some kind of tiger hair chest hair thing going on, but it's a leopard print piece with some gold bangles. Looks like zebra stripes on the shoes, so whatever. Also a Karen haircut. This person is bearded, seems to be an African American. I have no idea who they are. Nice little orange zhuzh around the eyebrows.
Okay, so this is a very notoriously homophobic musician who calls gay men child molesters and called for their death.
Oh, that guy. Oh, him. I have no idea. Is this some kind of a reggae artist? That would be where I immediately went to.
The hand goes up. The hand goes up again.
Is that?
Did we find your wheelhouse, Alejandro?
Yeah, this is Alejandro's game.
I think we did. Yeah. Is this? Is this Buju? I don't know. Go ahead.
No, it is not. Alejandro, did you have a guess?
Beanie Man.
Correct.
God damn it! Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Sorry, confused.
Because
Beanie Man and Buju.
I definitely would go to like the straight clubs in my early 20s and dance to Beanie Man.
Oh yeah. Beanie Man and the girls them sugar.
Yeah. Beanie Man and
Girl,
the
Girls them sugar.
Wow, that sucks.
They want this world class lava, y'all. Anyway, apparently trash.
with Maya, right? That was Beanie Man.
Yeah.
If I could
Take
be your
the
girl.
stars out the sky for you.
Whatever. No, hey yo, how about this? Fuck that dude, because I ain't never know what he was talking about anyhow. Bitch. Because I'm like, I was like, he sounds like he has several dicks in his mouth. Ironically enough.
Well, that's
All right.
terrible. I mean, there's so much homophobia in Caribbean culture. It's a shame, and I hope they change. All right.
Okay, Alejandro, you ready for your next one?
Bring them on.
Oh!
No,
Whoa.
why couldn't I get this one? I know this one.
Right?
Fuck. This is
Wait a
bullshit.
minute.
Okay, so I'll describe the outfit. We've got some strappy high heel sandals. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Black tights. We've got sort of a snake skin, swatchy sort of mid-length. What are these dresses called when they hug your whole body?
Bodycon?
and that's a midi length because it's past the knee slightly.
Yes. We've got a blue and a purple wig, some fucking really gorgeous blush, and a goatee, and a sort of an angry hunter face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can I guess? I don't know who this
Yeah.
is.
Don't know who this is.
Oh my god, I can't wait!
Is
This
this
is
Dibs, I'm
amazing.
stealing. Dibs, I'm bringing in dibs. I'm stealing if he doesn't get
He
it.
gets to try it.
If he doesn't get it, I'm getting in here before Darryl does. God
Sure.
damn it, that's all I want. Okay, good.
I really don't know who it is.
Okay, go ahead with the steal.
This is Chuck Norris, whose only import is pain, apparently.
I didn't know.
Bastard. I'm
Yeah,
disappointed.
Stranger.
He is in fact very conservative and argued that gays do not have a place in the Boy Scouts.
Ah.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah.
thankfully, there's no more of those, right?
You're
Not the
wrong.
homophobes, the Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts, yeah.
Yeah.
You ready, Kennedy?
Oh, this one's gonna be super fucking hard now that I stole one. Go ahead, let's go. I have never seen this person before in my life.
So we are again going international for this one, just as a clue. This is an international person. I can tell you the country if that's helpful.
Okay,
Uganda.
great. So this
Go
person,
This is a
Go ahead, no.
sponsor of the Kill the Gays bill.
Oh, I mean, that's just what it was called.
Well, I mean, it was, people who were like, this bill is bad. That's what.
Yeah, right. Typically, you don't say the quiet parts out loud. It's the Kill the Gays bill. Like, damn, all right. I guess I ain't got to read it.
so I can describe this person. They're wearing a like an aquamarine, underwater blue, leopard print, not leopard, but like cattle, maybe giraffe print dress. It's mermaid with a tail. It's got an asymmetrical neckline with some roseette features, some gold bangles, a clashing blue wig, big O's earrings, and matching eyeshadow, and apparently some Ugandan dick hit.
Mhm.
All right.
I don't know the person's name.
Any guesses on this one?
I-
Nobody?
No.
Okay. This is David Bahati. Ugandan politician. He sucks. Bye. Next one.
Yeah.
It was funny, and I hate to even, well, whatever, fuck it, I started, I'll say it. Looking at this picture, before you started giving me hints, Timaree, I was like, this looks like some super hyper masculine bull from the continent. Like,
Yeah.
without even knowing, I was like, this is clearly somebody's uncle who has said some problematic shit while wearing square-toed sandals with socks on.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, it was American evangelicals who went to
Oh,
Africa
yeah.
to encourage them to enact these laws. So comes back
Oh,
to
yeah.
us as well.
America first, baby.
One of our biggest
This reminds me of
exploits.
that video clip. With a video clip with the dude, where he's with the lady, and he's like, "Why are you gay?" And she's like, "What?" It's such a funny clip. Why are you gay?
All right, we ready
How
for
do
the
you know I'm
next
gay?
one?
You are gay. All right, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I was still going with the clip. It's preposterous and it's homophobia, but it's funny.
We're out here. All right. Here we go. Darryl, this one's you.
Oh boy. All right. Black pumps with some black stockings, a gold, I would say shimmery, but maybe sparkly. Some kind of metallic gold mini skirt with a top that looks like a curtain. I know there's a name for it. I don't know what it is. But it's like gold and white-ish, gold and silver, and then a bob haircut. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bob. All right, cool. Some bangs on it. There it is. A little bit of a peach in the cheeks and zhuzhed around the eyes.
I will never be able to apply eyeshadow now without calling it zhuzh.
Yeah, I got a zhuzh. You got a zhuzh. I don't know.
This is a religious figure.
Oh, is this the Oh, I don't know this person's name. This is the Westboro Baptist Church guy.
He is from Westboro Baptist Church. Yes, he went after Matthew Shepard, goes after war veterans. He's the
dickhead that puts he's the dickhead with the signs outside of the funerals of people so that the people who are mourning them get to be like, what the fuck? That's how he comes. I don't remember this person's name. I'll just say David Miscavige. I know that's wrong. That's actually the Scientology guy.
Do we have anyone for the steal?
Dick Tooth McMasterson.
Very good. It's very good. But this is Fred Phelps. Okay, Fred Phelps.
Okay.
Yeah. He dead now.
No one would be surprised if you found out that he really enjoyed the cock, right? Like no one would be like, what? Like
I don't know.
You
the whole idea that all homophobes are like secretly gay is a fun trope, but like no, sometimes people are just pieces of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just
like
almost cartoonish in his homophobia.
Right. Like when it's so over the top, it's like it's because, right? Like you don't get that crazy about it unless you like, they are living a life.
I don't know because
so
like
bad.
we don't have that same argument for like, you know, if somebody is like a super racist, we don't say, oh, they're secretly that racist.
Oh no, but the super racists are watching internet cuck porn all day long. I think that does apply.
Okay.
Twitter will cancel you if you say that homophobes secretly are gay. You're not. That's no longer.
Oh, that's not true. Okay.
Gay Twitter will come after you. That's true.
My bad.
All right.
I didn't know that. But I mean, but him,
more of these
right?
to go.
Like, all right. Anyway.
I'm gonna start going through these a little bit faster.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we are back to Alejandro.
Okay.
Famous pastor.
Okay. So we've got some sensible purple pumps, matching purple, I want to say a wrap dress with maybe a caftan or a cape, a short purple, almost a bob, a little shorter than a bob, and a fascinator up top, a little fascinator.
Ooh.
And yellow blush. And my first guess is Jerry Falwell.
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Can we play a game that all of us can play and not just Alejandro? Damn, like we get it. He knows his homophobes. That makes sense. Know your enemy, but Jesus fucking Christ, I want to play.
You really fucking Rage Against the Machine out this bitch. Like, for real.
He's like, I know this motherfucker. I know that motherfucker.
So these are, this is Jerry Falwell, who is the moral majority leader, head of Liberty University, and lobbied to recriminalize gay sex in DC.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Recriminalize. You know how much you gotta hate? Anyway.
Kennedy, you ready for yours?
No, but let's go.
We're doing speed round now.
I don't know this person. She's wearing some pink tights and black pumps, a black and highlighter green, another asymmetrical ensemble, another Karen cut, but it's green this time with some purple rouge and some granny glasses. Probably someone's racist grandmother. Final answer.
This was a North Carolina senator who said, if you want to call me a bigot, fine. He said he would never confirm any LGBT people to a cabinet or ambassador position, and rallied against the post office for having Stonewall stamps.
I love the fact that Alejandro's getting super close to the screen now.
Like I must know who this is.
I have never seen this person a day in their life, but I dare venture that this is the most attractive they have ever looked.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah.
Without question.
Even with all the colors, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have any
Especially
guesses?
with the colors.
Mm-mm.
No
The
guesses?
green and the pink bangles, I like that.
This is Jesse Helms.
Oh.
Don't even know who that
Serving
is.
body. Yeah. Absolute piece of trash. All right.
But he's no longer in office, right?
I think he's dead.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, great.
All right, Darryl, you are up. If you can't tell from the
I mean,
screen-
you know, it's a pink thing, tons of ruffles.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
what the hell to call that. That's like a, oh, that's a shame. Is
It's a lot of
that
pink
the name of
fluff,
the
yeah.
dress? A shame? Because that's a lot. It's a lot. It's like a long skirt that goes up to like a mini skirt level puff of fabric that goes into some kind of corseted nonsense that goes back to shoulder puffs. And then there's somebody just hit random on the Dragulator and put that together. What are the clues? I have no idea who this person is.
So this is a radio host who lost her radio show.
Sure.
She called homosexuality a biological error, and she claims the gay men prey on young boys. She,
That old trope.
yeah, she lost her radio show. Oh no!
Tragedy.
Oh, you mean that there were people listening that was like, there are better ways to do this. Yeah, I have no idea.
Any
is-
guesses from the panel? Hand creeps up. Yes, Alejandro.
Oh my God.
It's Laura Schlesinger.
You are correct.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yet another steal. All right, we're gonna go through this one fast.
Dude, hey, education's great.
This is amazing. We're gonna just skip describing them because everybody, if you wanna check it out and you are able to check out visual imagery, we're trying to make this accessible. But if you can't see it, it's just not really a good joke for you. I'm sorry. Okay. Going through this super fast. All right, Alejandro, who do you think this is? You don't even have to describe the outfits anymore.
Is he an international figure or is he an American politician?
Yes, we went international again.
International. Is this the prime minister of the Ukraine, was it? Eastern Bloc state? No? Then I don't know.
Any guesses? This is a president who believed that gay people did not exist in his country, where homosexuality can be punished by death.
He looks Middle Eastern.
He is Iranian.
Iran!
Yes.
Mm.
I was going to guess Iran, but it was going to be a guess, and I didn't want to be perceived as prejudiced.
Ahmadinejad, right? Like that's
Yeah.
the
How do you say it?
Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
Ahmadinejad. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget. That makes his face. He must have lost weight after this picture because he had a skinnier face in my memory.
Maybe it's the hair.
Maybe it's the curves. You know,
Yeah.
those do draw the eye.
Yeah.
I was thinking of
All
that
right.
guy who looks like he was like in effervescence, in evanescence.
Yeah.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
looked like he got a little thing on him. But
All right, Kennedy,
please,
you ready for your last one?
Sure. Oh, I don't know this person.
So this woman was the head of the pro-family organization, the Eagle Forum. There's actually a show out right now that is about her and her movement to stop the Equal Rights Amendment.
I don't know who this is. She looks like a Jackie. She looks like her name would be Jackie. Is she a Jacqueline? It's always a Jacqueline.
She's not a Jacqueline.
Okay.
Alejandro with the steal.
Phyllis Schlafly.
It is
Wow.
Phyllis Schlafly, correct. Yes, and you can see Mrs. America starring my wife, Kate Blanchett, as Phyllis Schlafly, fucking me all the way up with that. It's really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me. But Rose Byrne's also in it. That's pretty good. I like that.
Isn't Uzo Aduba
Yeah,
Shirley Chisholm?
yeah.
How much is Shirley Chisholm in the show though? Because I've been debating whether or not to give a shit.
So basically they break down the episodes to be about a bunch of other women who were doing stuff at that time. And there's one episode that focuses on her There's an episode that focuses more on Gloria Steinem, Bella Abzug. So she's not a central character, but there's one episode that is more focused on her. You could just watch that one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is there a prevailing narrative through the season, or is it just like
it's
a
about
biopic thing?
Yeah, it's all about how she got involved in the movement, because she wasn't like an anti-feminist. She wasn't like doing anti-feminist things. She was all about national security, and then suddenly became very interested in ending the ERA. And this is about that. It was very close to being the national law. It was almost ratified in enough states, and she hopped in just in time to ruin it.
Hey,
Spoiler alert.
Gotta get in where you fit in.
All right, you ready for the last one, Darryl?
Sure. Oh, this is my boy. That's Rick Santorum.
It sure is. Rick Santorum,
That's my boy.
former PA senator who claimed that if we allow same-sex marriage, that we would have man-on-dog marriage. So
Yeah, because he loves dogs. Like, no one brings that up unless you looked at a Great Dane and was like, "Ooh, I bet you are great."
Ooh.
Sexy ass. Like that, that's what he said. Do it. So who brings that up?
People who
Only
like
a
fucking
person who
dogs.
wants to fuck a dog would be like, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna fuck dogs, and I'm mad. Why?
But I can't
'Cause
do it either.
Right.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, it will come as no surprise, but we have a winner. And our winner this week is Alejandro!
ah! Thought I had it.
Stunning score
But yeah.
of 11.
830,425 points. Because the rest of us don't know our homophobes.
That was stunning.
Wow.
Stunning. Would you like to give a victory speech?
I'd like to thank everyone who hates.
Oh no!
I don't want to, it's such a shame. It's so sad. Especially fucking Rick Santorum, because he got nicknamed for the frothy discharge that comes out of buttholes as a result of butt sex, and he still would not fade from the limelight. It wasn't enough to take him down.
I'm sorry, but if I have a strong stance against something and someone names a thing in that stance after me, I don't know if I would calm down. I would probably be more pissed off too. I can't hold you.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? You'd be like extra mad, but like that's the fun part.
Like if a man's like football team or something became the Teabaggers and their mascot was my face on a teabag, I would be more pissed off at misogynists. Not like, oh, well, okay, you guys are assholes. Let me fall back. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that like he's one of those like irredeemable bigots. So
Yeah,
it's like,
agreed.
just die mad. Like why
Agreed.
not? Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Pennsylvania. Y'all did that.
Yeah. So the nice thing is that a lot of the people on this list are now dead or will soon be. Yay!
Yay!
That's the other great thing about the coronavirus. It's a boomer purge.
I don't think everyone should die. I think we should all do everything to keep everyone alive.
Oh,
But-
absolutely. Absolutely. We should all be washing our hands. We should all be wearing masks. We should not be going outside unless, absolutely positively necessary. But if a dick tooth who hates people, who's bigoted and racist, happens to catch the vid, well, I mean, hey.
Silver linings, dog. I hope they don't trust the medical community either. I hope they think oils and
ginger ale. We'll do
ginger ale, right? Yeah, that's what I suggest for y'all. You just need to pray more.
Aren't you in church? Aren't you praying anyway for other people's sins?
When you tell people that like the way to not get pregnant is to pray, get on your knees, right? You should do that for the coronavirus as your lungs fill up with fluid. Anyway, this is
breathe it in, bitch. Breathe it in. Deep breaths. Use your diaphragm. Oh wait, you can't.
This took a turn.
Sorry. I've been having some thoughts in my time spent alone.
So we have come to the time, we're running low on time. So where can people find out more about you? Where do they go? Where do they follow you on the socials?
Alejandro.
All right,
you're a winner.
Yeah.
All right, you can check out my website, which I will update any month now at lolejandro.com, lalejandro.com. You can follow me on Twitter at rule. You can find me on Instagram. That's my favorite. You can find me on Instagram at Alejandro L Great. And you keep an eye out for hashtag Eat Your Beats. It's a food-themed rap battle game show that we're going to be bringing back in a digital streaming format in June.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's bad. Yay.
I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, Darryl's going to do it.
Yeah, 2 cakes in the building.
2 cakes?
All right, Kennedy, how about you?
You can find Black Tribbles everywhere. We are on Instagram, Facebook, iTunes, YouTube is where we're platforming all of our shows now because of the virus. And you can find us at blacktribbles.com and everywhere that great podcasts be. Drawing a blank. That's really the only thing I got going on right now. Yeah, so if you like nerdy things, discussions of nerd culture and geek lifestyles, all through the lens of the Black American perspective with considerable less tongue-tyingness, check out blacktribbles.com and all your other social medias for your nerdy, furry goodness.
Brilliant, brilliant. What you got, Darryl?
Kennedy's that Mikey trick on all the things.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. Well, nah.
It's fine.
Nah.
Darryl, what you got coming up?
Go get my album, The Black Gentrifier. It's in stores. I keep saying it every fucking time. I had a good time doing it. It was fun to have done, and it's there. So find it everywhere. It's gonna be on Pandora soon, so there's that. So if you haven't checked it out on Spotify or Tidal or iTunes or Amazon or Bandcamp, please go to darrylcharles.bandcamp.com and get it. There's you could do it on Pandora, whatever. Also, every Sunday I keep showing up at Sucks to Be Quarantined. So if you're not doing anything on a Sunday evening, you can come and watch me hurt people's feelings while they try to tell jokes.
It's a lot of fun.
Yay! I love it.
I might be down for that this time. Since you put it like that.
It is kind of fun. I get to be. I'm not mean, but I'm a jerk. Timaree.
Yeah, so the main hustle right now is that I will yell at you while you sweat. So I teach boot camps and Pilates Monday through Saturday every day. And you can find out more at sweatwithtimaree.com. So that's sweat with Timaree. And also doing some burlesque and some educational things virtually. Like we have a Get You a Babe Who Can Do Both. It's going to be coming up June 5th. We're doing it virtually with the National Liberty Museum. So you can hear me give a talk on social media censorship and then do some burlesque. So you can check that out, National Liberty Museum's website, or check that out, sexwithtimaree.com is where I put a lot of the stuff. Yeah.
Dope.
Okay. Well, we did it. We did another one. Yay!
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we started
An hour and a half.
Yeah, it went a while. Yeah. We always get into these games. And yeah. Without the threat of Frankie Bradley's turning into a Chad-Jerated nightclub, we just...
Chad-Jeration. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
boy. I mean, when it happens, though, ain't it something?
It's swift.
Woo! It's fun to watch and equally fun to leave. But boy, it is something. It's like, wow, they was just out here, huh?
There's a Chad-Jeration point. Yeah.
What's extra great is when some of them show up early and then go sit at DTF and then get mad.
Mm-hmm.
They get so mad. They get mad.
Yeah.
But for every one of them that are mad, remember a bunch of like Army Navy dudes showed up at one of them, and afterward we're like, yo, this show's great. I'm so happy that this is a thing that happens. And
I
then
was
they
there for that.
proceeded to go do, dubious signage around the person who was giving a speech. But that is neither here nor there. Just saying.
Subverting your expectations.
Right. No one's a monolith.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody so much for doing the show again. We appreciate you so much. And thank you everybody for joining us again. And feel free to tweet at us. Yay!
Thanks for having me. This has been
Hanging
fun.
with the brodies,
I'm
got a
so
bad
glad you
bitch
came.
on me. She DTF.
She tell me she
DTF. I heard she DTF. What? And you ain't hanging with the team if you ain't down to fuck.